Hi everybody. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about one of every coach and trainer's pet peeves, and that is not sticking to the program. One of the things that's really frustrating is to spend quality time on a quality program only to find out that the client hasn't actually stuck to that program. I guess writing a program isn't that simple, you know. It's not a matter of just choosing your favorite exercises or bundling a whole host of exercises for a body part into a program per se. You know, it's an actual science, and that's why we go to university and study exercise prescription for 3 years and then some. So of course, if programs were simple, then we wouldn't need to outsource and get other people, professionals, to write us a program. So I think you're doing yourself a disservice by getting a program and then modifying it to what you think is best for you. And then what will normally happen is you'll say, well, that program didn't work. Now, when you get a program that's say Vince Garonda's 8x8s or Jim Wendler's 531, things like that, programs like that, or a Poliquin written or a Lane Norton written or a Charles Glass, I mean, their programs are tried, true and tested. So it's no good tweaking them and making your own adjustments. Like, you're better off to stick to the program 100%, and then at the end of that requested time, whether it's a 10-week block, a 6-week block, or a 12-week block, you then critically assess how that program worked for you, but not get into it for 3 to 4 weeks and then modify it, because again, that is not sticking to that program. Professional coaches and trainers give a fair amount of thought that goes into the order of the exercises, the choices of the exercises, the permutations that we're going to use, the training loads, the variables, the intensity. All of these things are why we actually have a job. So I guess my message today is really just to do the right thing by yourself and your trainer. Stick to the plan, and then once you've finished that, you can assess it and decide whether or not that program was for you. And really, your training life is actually just an extension of doing training block after training block. You measure, you assess, you perform, you finish and complete, and then you remeasure, and then you reassess that program. And eventually, over a long enough time frame, you're going to work out how your body best responds. Is it to supersets, or is it to the power training, or is it to your traditional pyramiding system of pyramiding up in weight and down in repetitions. The other thing is, I guess with social media, it really comes back to the coach very easily. I don't know how many times I've heard, on a Monday morning, how was your eating and your training on the weekend? Yeah, good, but there was photographs of champagne and beer in hand on Facebook. So guys, don't forget that we see a lot of stuff and we can kind of work out whether you're sticking to the plan or not. The other thing is, I guess this doesn't just apply to the weight training side of things. One of the questions that I get asked a lot is how much cardio. And depending on the client and their unique situation and their goals and the time frame, I'll set a certain amount. And it never ceases to amaze me that clients will still then go off on an assumption, and it's a mistaken assumption, that more is better. And so then they end up telling me that they've cardioed maybe 5 times a week instead of the suggested 2 times a week. Again, you know, it comes back to perhaps trust the trainer. After all, you're paying them for their advice, so the best thing that you can do probably is listen to it. That's it for today.